We all have our demons.
Not enough pain.
What is up, YouTube? It's Kilrian, back with another video. Today, doing a little story time, doing a little unstructured video here. After a couple of days of talking about Patreon, I thought it would be fun to get some game footage again, get my face back down in the corner where it belongs, and talk about alts that you enjoy playing but struggle to get into. And if you can see the video here, I am running around on my protection paladin. Paladin in general, let's see. I have an interesting history with this class. I thought I might want to play one initially when WoW first came out, and my roommates at the time were all getting into it. One of them actually did level and play a paladin all the way to 60, and it seemed pretty interesting. I admit, watching some gameplay, and I was kind of interested in what was going on there. But it took me until Wrath of the Lich King to actually take the plunge, roll a paladin, level that character all the way to 80 at the time, and to kind of get into it. Now, I played Holy pretty much 9 times out of 10 when I've leveled this character. It's been as Holy. I only leveled as Prot in Warlords of Draenor and Legion. And Legion's the only time I would actually argue that I've mained Prot on this character. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, Wrath of the Lich King is when I first flirted with tanking, and it was with Blood Death Knight tanking, so it was all that self-healing and that just juicy damage. Loved it. So, Prot Paladin didn't really appeal to me as much. I never really got the fascination with the Captain America thing, throwing my shield and all that. And generally, I wasn't too used to seeing Prot Paladin tanks. We had a Prot Paladin tank in Wrath for maybe the first half of Ulduar, and it was just one of our annoying rep paladins who had yell macros on everything, who switched to playing Prot. So, at the time as a healer, my experience with them is that they took a bit more healing than I would have liked, and they just didn't seem like they had a whole lot going on that Ret or Holy didn't. I really liked the healing style at the time too with Holy, just the big healing bombs and beacon transfers. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. So Wrath of the Lich King would be the first time I leveled a paladin at all. I want to say, God, this is probably a bad confession to have, but pretty much all of my characters, with the exception of my priest, who's my original main, were leveled to level cap initially, the first time they ever hit cap, pretty much based on recruiter friend or heirlooms or some combination of both. I used to dual box a lot, and not the good kind of dual boxing, the smart kind where you had the key broadcast software that would automatically launch multiple instances of WoW and set a master and a slave account that could follow and do all the macros and stuff for you. I had an Acer Republic of Gamers, or a Asus Republic of Gamers laptop over on my left side, and I had my computer in front of me, and that's how I did it. So I would just I would type /follow, and I would try desperately to make combat happen on both. And they were all just secondary accounts linked to my main battle.net account. So I was just logged into 2 different accounts of WoW. I think, still, I'd have to let me actually look at my launcher real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to count this out on stream. You ready? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is actually the maximum they're allowed, or were allowed. I haven't tried in several years now. That you were allowed to have as far as WoW accounts linked to a single battle.net account. So yeah, 8 accounts. Basically what I would do is every time the game was on sale in some fashion, or at a couple of points back when I had an income that actually sustained my living and mattered, I would be able to just straight up buy a battle chest, buy some current expansions, get it up to Wrath of the Lich King or Cataclysm. I think the last time I did it was probably Mist of Pandaria, and that's the last time I ever had to do it. I didn't have to do it, really, but... In fact, I did buy Mist of Pandaria for a second account, and I don't even remember why. Because I didn't recruit a friend during that, now that I think about it. Anyways, not the point. So, it was basically a cycle of me leveling 2 characters of classes I didn't have up to level cap, so up to 80 at the time. That's really the last time I did it. Once Cataclysm came out, most of them went 80 to 85 alone, and that was the last time I had leveled Recruit a Friend, was in the start of Cataclysm, just to get a, like, I think it was my Warrior, and it might have been my Paladin. No, it wasn't my Paladin. It was Shaman, I think. Anyways, so I got, like, basically you just do, like, crude, shitty, low-tier multi-boxing, and you would level them both with Recruit a Friend bonuses and heirlooms. So I would, like, I would always try to level opposite armor types, so it was always, like, plate and mail, or mail and leather, or leather and cloth, or something like that. Never the same armor type together. And so that way then you could maximize heirloom. Same thing with stats too. Like if I was leveling a male class and a leather class, the male class needed to be agi or int, and then whichever one they weren't was what the leather class was, so that you could use the capes and the offset pieces from heirlooms. That's how much I hated leveling back in the day. Is I was willing to, like, economically put myself out and do this awkward multi-boxing dance so that I could get through 80 levels of that with, like, the triple boost from Wrath and, like, 80 or 90%, whatever the bonus XP total is from heirlooms, and just do it that way. And then what I would do is I would transfer whatever character was on my non-main WoW account to my main WoW account when I was done. And to make matters even more interesting, before doing that, I would use the bonus levels to then level a third character. So basically my goal was to try to do it every time I bought a new account. It was try to level enough to get a total of, it would have been 5 characters to level cap, because you had to do you would have to basically level 2 characters to 80. That's going to get you 40 grantable levels, or it was something like that back in the day. And then it was level a second pair to 80, and that would give you the second set of 40 grantable levels to your main account, so that you could then boost a 5th character up through the ranks. But a couple of times I, like, failed to do it. Like, I just, like, because the Recruit a Friend is a time-limited thing, so it was effectively just, like, do the best that you can in that time. And this is when I was playing WoW for, like, hours upon hours a day. I mean, okay, not much has changed, I suppose. I play more directly now, I guess, which is probably good. But, yeah, that was the thing. But anyways, that's way off course for the actual story. So Paladin, right? So I started playing with Prot during Warlords of Draenor. I've always wanted to try Prot Paladin because we used to have this really awesome dude in our guild. He's still, like, in the guild, but he doesn't play anymore, which kind of sucks. His name is Hrothulf. I never knew how to actually say it. We always called him Herat, right? We should just shorten it up. And, like, his big shtick was at the tail end of Wrath of the Lich King, where we first met him. When we would be in dungeons, and I would usually, like, heal and he would tank, he would basically just be like, keep up. And we would just, like, take off and run. And we would just pull everything and just fucking chain pull the whole instance. And it was great, just good fun. And it always made me wonder, like, okay, I need to know how paladins pull that off. Especially because he himself wasn't a Prot Paladin to start. Like, when he first joined the guild we were all in back in the day, he was holy. Like, he was part of the healing crew, which is how I got to know him pretty well. Is because we'd all be hanging out in healing chat, you know, just talking away. Back when we used in-game chat channels and not just Discord for everything. So, it was pretty cool. Like, you know, you see somebody kind of do that, and it makes you wonder. Anytime you see somebody do something in-game that's, like, insane to you, it makes you wonder, because I never, like, even in the very tail end of Wrath, like, everybody in ICC 25 heroic gear, everyone's got their best stuff, and it's just like, even the dungeon runs I did with some of the other classes and specs of tanks back then just couldn't pull like that. But like, here was this prot paladin just storming from the front door to the back in no time at all. So finally, during Warlords, like, curiosity got the better of me, and as I started leveling my paladin, I was like, okay, let's try prot. And I gotta admit, I don't know how people play prot paladins during the phases where they're bad. Actually, this really goes for pretty much both non-healing paladin specs, because my interactions with Ret and prot are always either it's really good and I enjoy playing it and I need to play more of it, or they're so fucking terrible that I can't play the character, and it's like, just throw it in the trash can, start over, wait until next expansion, level to cap, but wait. So this expansion, I didn't really expect to like prot. Prot's what I started with. It's my highest leveled artifact on the paladin. So it felt at first like a little weird. Like, now that I have all the tanks at 110 and I've gone through the gearing process on all of them at 110, I feel like Paladin's the one that's still sort of weird to me. I mean, okay, so Warrior is like super weird to me because they're just complex. Mitigation on a Warrior feels like solving a Rubik's Cube, where it's like, when do you want shield block? When do you want ignore pain? And there are easy answers that are enough to get people like playing, but those are hard questions that actually take time to decipher. Paladin to me is always just weird because Shield of the Righteous always feels so fucking weak compared to everything on the classes I'm used to playing. So like, on a Demon Hunter, I'm used to being able to pop Demon Spikes, you get like 5 seconds, just great mitigation, right? And it's like, okay, sure, so you get more charges of Shield of the Righteous. That's fair. But it's this weird thing where, like, you have to be in range, you have to be able to hit something with a shield to trigger it at all. And it's also like one of your big damage hits. So generally, if you're trying to do max DPS, you're trying to pop it as often as possible. But maybe you want to keep a charge in the bank just in case. Like, I understand it at like a weirdly fundamental level, but it's somewhat weird to me still. Like, I just did the 5 time walkers for this week's event on this tune. This was actually the 6th character I've done them on this week. Pity me. But Antorus gear for alts, like at least a piece to get my item levels up on average, because they're getting there. They are getting there. But yeah, so like, Prot Paladin feels like this weird mashup of Prot Warrior and like Guardian Druid to me, because they're like shield based and they have block and they have Shield of the Righteous, which reduces damage they take, which is great, but it's like this low tier mitigation in terms of time active. So you often have to figure out how to get charges rolling, and you can build up charges by hitting, like Judgment and reducing the cooldown of a charge. And you can also take a talent like Bastion of Light, which I always take because it just makes my life easy. So when I start running out of charges, it's like, just okay, just hit the button and you're done. So I don't know, like, I feel like I really like Prot Paladin this expansion. Not enough to main it. Like, I actually kind of thought about it when we were talking about switching people around for Tomb of Sargeras, but I really like Demon Hunter, and at this point I feel like it would be weird to switch to, because like the whole name of my online presence for talking about the game is my Demon Hunter, so there's that. But I really like Demon Hunter gameplay too much. But as an alt, like, I'm starting to come around on Prot Paladin, and that's a little bit weird to me, which is nice because I really like their design this expansion. And so far from what we've seen, Battle for Azeroth seems likely to continue that direction, so I'm happy with that. But it's just still figuring out the weird stuff. Like, okay, so you have mitigation, but then you have all these weird oh shit buttons. Like, you can hit Ardent Defender, you can hit Guardian of Ancient Kings, you can put yourself into Divine Shield, which I actually did in one of the Time Walkers today. And it's like, as long as you have a good trigger finger with your taunt, that actually is a viable strategy, and that's weird to me. Like, I don't really get that. Like, I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can, and that's cool, I guess. So overall, like, I just wanted to share and kind of get everyone's opinion and feelings about, like, what's a class respect that you like to play but haven't. I feel like everybody has that one thing that they would probably play more if they better understood it or had a chance to really sit down and interact with it more, but you just don't always get that chance. Like, you know, I mean, like, I've been playing this game for 12 years, so like the amount of time I can spend on a regular basis, like, relearning things is not as high. So in a way, like, its simplification is kind of nice. It's probably why I identify more with Prot Paladin than Prot Warrior, because, like, Prot Paladin has very specific, like, rotational things you can hit and ways to deal with active mitigation situations, where Prot Warrior feels like very loose, and, like, the way to answer those questions is multiple based on what the situation looks like, which, like, when you're learning something, that fucking sucks. I'm not trying to do that. I do like learning, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sound like an ignorant, closed-minded, like, idiot, but, like, at a certain point, if I'm logging over to a character and I'm like, I just want to do some Argus quests, I don't want to have to sit down for like 30 minutes and be like, okay, let me remember what all of these buttons do. I generally, when I'm playing an alt and I'm just, like, I'm not going to be serious with them, I just kind of go, hey, what's the TLDR on Icy Veins? Cool. Take those talents, do that shit, done. So yeah, I mean, I really have been enjoying Prot Pally a lot more than I expected at the start of the expansion. I kind of expected my Paladin would be one of my benched sort of alts that would hit 110 and come back for the last patch a little bit to get some gear and then never to be seen again. But surprisingly, like, I enjoy playing her a decent amount. I've tried the Artifact Challenge for Prot. It's a lot harder than it was for me on Vengeance Demon Hunter, that is for sure. But yeah, so if you have any... excuse me, I should edit that out. I'm not going to. I already know that. If you have any specs or classes that you're super interested in playing but just don't have the time to learn, leave a comment, and that'd be a cool discussion to have. Especially since I've, like, got a 110 of everything. Just to show that off. And I, like, frequently rotate my character list to tell me, like, who's doing what when. So of course, yeah, just hit 944 today. Got a 960 Titan Forged ring out of an Antorus cache from the mission table. Like, mythic level gear already. What are the odds? And my average item level is, like, right at heroic, so perfect. Yeah, we had a bunch of phase 4 wipes to Argus this week, and by a bunch I mean, like, we tried him on our first try and we got to phase 4 and almost killed him, so we kept going for half an hour past raid time. So I'm pretty confident that this week is going to be a good week in terms of raid kills, which will be nice before Christmas and everything. But yeah, here's all my alts. I'm just, like, rotating through now while I think if I have anything else to say. I have my Guardian weapons on my Druid transmogged over. Got hidden appearance there. Oh yeah, got some more Mage Tower magic. The Warrior I really don't understand, but is still prot because reasons. Just playing around with Elemental. And then my neglected alts that I really actually like, except for the Rogue. You know what, that's actually probably my most... Like, I'm supposed to like Rogue gameplay. Everyone says you should like Rogue gameplay. I don't. I don't like it. I can't play Rogue. I always have one at level cap, at least have since Cataclysm, but yeah. Not a fan. Don't like rogues. Anyways, that is it for today. I just wanted to have a weird little rambly chat about apparently what started as me talking about paladins turned into a rant about multiple accounts and recruiter friend and heirlooms. So, you know, if you came and you got that, I hope it was at least entertaining. Tell me if it was. Tell me if it wasn't. The box is open. Submit your feedback. As always, I'm on Twitch 6 nights a week, Monday through Saturday. Link down below in the description box. That is twitch.tv/KaleRien. I've got my written thoughts about WoW, other MMOs, and just whatever gaming stuff strikes my fancy over at kalerien.wordpress.com. And lastly, I'm on Twitter with some short form thoughts at KaleRien. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care, and I'll see you then.
Thank you.